Air dominance. That's India's top priority amid threats from China and Pakistan at the border. New India's new force is leaving no stones unturned to achieve that goal. From bolstering its air defences to preparing for future wars, the Indian military is becoming a force to reckon with. A crucial aspect of this effort involves acquiring next-generation warplanes. Well, today we have great news. India will finally get fifth-generation fighter jets. You heard that right. The government has taken a big step towards developing fifth-gen jets domestically. Once in possession of these coveted jets, India will join an exclusive club of countries currently consisting of the United States, Russia and China. Now let me say this straight, this is a big deal. Fifth-generation fighter jets are the apex predators of the sky. They're faster, meaner and more lethal. That is why the world's top military powers are working to develop them. Having these next-generation warplanes in one's fleet will make the country a formidable air force. Currently, there are 3 fifth-gen fighter jets in production. These are China's Chengdu J-20, Russia's Sukhoi 57, and the US's Lockheed Martin F-35 Lightning. While America's F-22 Raptor, which was the first fifth-generation fighter jet, is currently being used, it is no longer being manufactured. Still, they are not going anywhere. The US plans to keep the F-22 Raptor airborne for the next 2 decades. As far as the Chinese J-20 jets are concerned, India need not be worried, because reports say that there are big gaps in its stealth tech. It is not a match for the American fighter jets. Reports further say that the Chengdu J-20 has copied its tech from American jets, the F-22 and the F-35. According to news outlets, China has more than 200 J-20s in its arsenal. And so, the Indian government's approval of a long-standing proposal to produce fifth-generation jets at home marks a pivotal moment. With this, India liberates itself from dependence on foreign fighter jets. The next generation Advanced Medium Combat Aircraft, or AMCA, will be made within India, aligning seamlessly with the futuristic needs of the Indian Air Force. Reports suggest this swing role, AMCA, will boast of supersonic cruise capabilities, accompanied by an initial project investment of Rs 15,000 crore. This ambitious move follows the successful development of the Tejas light combat aircraft. Beyond bolstering India's strategic and tactical capabilities, the Indian government's decision embodies a big leap towards self-reliance in defence. And speaking of big leaps, there's one more aspect of securing the air, and that's developing anti-drone tech. And India's new weapon to secure the skies is a bird of prey. Yes, a real bird. The Indian Army has displayed this innovative fusion of military prowess during the joint military exercise between India and Japan, called Dharma Guardian. The Indian Army showcased 2 trained eagles. Their names are Arjun and Deep. And Arjun and Deep have been trained for anti-drone activities as well as surveillance missions. Faced with the menace of enemy drones and the need to carry out deeper surveillance without the worry of being tracked, the Indian Army is putting a flock of avian recruits through boot camp. Take a look. This is an ingenious method to counter drone intrusions. The bird is trained to identify drones and destroy it in the air. Birds like Arjun and Deep boost stealth options for surveillance and interception. Since they are real birds, they can navigate complex terrains without attracting any attention. And this is a critical advantage over conventional drones detectable by enemy radars. Now, this isn't the first time that India has demonstrated the bird's capability. During US-India military exercises last year, the Indian Army displayed what Arjun can achieve. Footage from the drills captured Arjun skillfully intercepting a quadcopter drone, showcasing the bird's precision and efficacy in such missions. China and India show off rival bird tech. It demonstrates a remarkable blend of traditional and cutting-edge military tactics. You may be wondering about the effectiveness of using birds of prey. Well, let me tell you that reports say that these birds have successfully taken down several hundred of quadcopters during training, at times destroying them completely. And guess what? None of the eagles were injured in the process. This right here is an example of how the Indian military is incorporating nature-inspired solutions to modern warfare challenges, particularly when it comes to drone warfare. With China making leaps in UAV technology and Pakistan buying state-of-the-art drones from Turkey, India is taking no chance. You see, China too has been developing its military technology inspired by birds' flight capability. Reports say that researchers at Northwestern Polytechnical University have been working on an ornithopter named Little Falcon. It's a bird-like drone tested in Xi'an. It is at the forefront of UAV design. It is reportedly capable of military reconnaissance, among other applications. In fact, the Chinese state broadcaster CCTV reported how China has a new robotic bird. Its nimble flight controls have been made possible by the invention of a new crank mechanism. It allows the drone to fold its wings and flap them at the same time. China's robotic bird can undertake surveillance missions, strike missions, and recon missions. So both India and China have showcased their new bird technology at a time when the world has been transformed by drone warfare. But there are projects in the pipeline that will boost India's air defense. India's Cabinet Committee on Security, or CCS, has also approved the acquisition of 34 Advanced Light Helicopter, or ALH. They're called the Dhruv choppers. They will greatly aid the Indian Army and the Indian Coast Guard. Manufactured domestically by Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, these helicopters serve several purposes. They are, after all, twin-engine, multi-role, multi-mission next-generation choppers. They come with a 0.7 mm gun, which gives it a huge capability from a low-intensity maritime operations standpoint. The automatic flight control system is hugely superior to the previous one. The forces will use these choppers for search and rescue, special operations, and coastal surveillance. That's not all. The Indian Air Force is also in the process of procuring a 114 multi-role fighter aircraft, or MRFA, designed to perform various missions such as air-to-air combat, air-to-ground attack, and electronic warfare. India's multi-role fighter aircraft will replace the aging fleet of Soviet-era MiG-21. So there you have it. India's priorities are not only securing its borders, but also protecting the international rules-based order, while at the same time modernizing its forces. Sure, its neighbor China has the strength of fleet and strategic inventory, but the Indian Air Force has reliable platforms, strategic bases, and experienced troops. Add to that the big technological leaps that are being taken. They make the Indian military a future-ready force. This is New India's new force.
WION World is One is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.